So, do you guys remember that time that Fender really messed up? Okay, so this is a 1979 Fender Strat, and I wasn't really looking for a Strat, but this one just kind of found me, and I kind of had to get it. So let's talk about it here. Let's get rid of the case, and then we'll revisit the case in a second, because it's also special. So if you guys don't mind and you're digging the content, do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to see you guys come back. Just a bunch of nerds here, but if you play guitar and you're a nerd, you're more than welcome. So anyways, back to the video. Okay, so here's the story of the Strat. Now, the Strat actually comes from Ohio. The manager at Metronome Music, Chris, who I've known forever, reached out to me a while ago and sent me some pictures, and he's like, hey, do you know anybody who would want this 70s Strat? It just came into the shop. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'd be interested in it. I'm like, it depends, how much is it? And he told me the price, and it kind of got me thinking. I was like, man, there's some really cool videos to make here with the 70s Strat. I've got a Friedman Telly with P90s that I'm going to sell to kind of like counteract this, because if I get a new guitar, I've got to get rid of one. That's just a rule I have for myself. So a really big shout out and thank you to Chris and the guys at Metronome Music. Of course, Larry, if you happen to see this, you the man. And always, man, representing the 419 up in here. So check out Metronome Music if you guys haven't. Great guitar. I got it. Heavy. This thing is a boat anchor. But sounds way different from my white Strat, and just stays in tune really well. And it got me kind of thinking. I'm like, why do people hate these so much? And it led me down this rabbit hole of trying to learn about some 70s Strat stuff. Now, 70s Strats get lots of hate from people because of things like the 3-bolt neck, the big old headstock, the bullet truss rod. Well, people do seem to like the 5-way selector switch. But what a lot of people might not know is the majority of these changes were actually Leo's ideas. Now, I didn't know any of that either until recently. I was doing a video with Zach Childs about Telecasters, which you guys will see here pretty soon, and he mentioned that, and I was like, wait, those were all Leo's ideas? And he's like, oh yeah, even though Leo had sold the company and did not technically own anything in the company, he was there as a consultant and still came up with innovative ideas. The 3-bolt neck is not a bad idea. The micro tilt is not a bad idea. What went wrong was the execution on CBS's part. If you actually go look at early G&Ls, they have a 3-bolt neck on them, and there's not those issues. Fender had a lot of tolerance issues. They did not have the neck pockets tight like they needed them, and they kind of let stuff slip through the cracks. So, while the design was kind of the issue, it was actually the execution that was the problem. Now, this is a great idea, the bullet truss rod. Obviously, taking your neck off to adjust the truss rod over and over again, not the most ideal situation. Again, remedied by this. Big headstock, that was of course a CBS thing because they wanted to have the name of the guitar more legible, more marketing potential. And the 5-way selector switch, also a great idea. But the big ones, the 3-bolt neck, bullet truss rod, and all that stuff, that was all Leo. He came up with a lot of this stuff, even after he got rid of the company. So look at those early G&Ls. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so my favorite sound on it is definitely this position 4. And if you're interested at all in the tones, I'm just running from the Strat into the Dr. Z Z-Rec, right into the aux, into my interface. Now, I will say for like the track and most of the playing you're going to hear, I have on the Mythos Argo, which is actually a fuzz, but I have it turned way down, and it just kind of gives you a nice boost. So like the Argo is an incredible octave, you can get the octave in there if you want to, but just turn the octave all the way down and the fuzz really, really low, and you get this awesome just sounds amazing. Now, that was position 4. Listen to the neck pickup. Neck pickup, position 4. That position 4 on this thing is so good. Middle. And then position 2. I mean, like crazy quacky. And that's the bridge. Now, there is one mod I have to do this guitar because it is something they still weren't doing in the 70s, but is wiring your tone knob down here, instead of being to your middle pickup, wiring it to the bridge. It's literally the pickup that needs the tone knob the most, and they didn't do it. So I will be having that mod put in here. I'm going to change the wiring to the bridge because you can hear the bridge is just too bitey. If I could roll a little bit of that top end off there, it'd be perfect. Now let's get back to the case for a second. Now the case is actually, funny enough, something that really sold the guitar to me because there's something really cool about it. Now this is the original case, and I always like original cases for some reason because I'm like, man, this thing has been protecting this guitar its whole life. And at this point, a 79 guitar is considered vintage, just like my trusty KM Les Paul. It's a 79 as well. And there's just kind of like a little soft spot for me because I love that guitar so much. But when Chris sent me these pictures, he showed me all of these hang tags. It's like all the case candy that it came with. It's got its ashtray. I'm like, that is cool. This guitar, look at that, has been together as a unit. The owner's manual for the guitar, it's telling you how to use the micro tilt and stuff like that. I'm like, this guitar has stories to it, even though I might not know them. You know, it's been some places. Look, here's your warranty information. Oh, that's for the DiMarzio. Yeah, like, I mean, there's just so many cool little things. That is what pushed me over the edge, and I'm like, okay, I can find a guitar to get rid of that I will, you know, replace with this one, and that's exactly what happened. So there you guys have it. Some of you were asking from the last video when I mentioned the 70s Strat, but overall, just a cool guitar. It needs a little bit of TLC. It's got some dead frets. It can only bend up, you know, so high on these. But I'm gonna take it down the Glaziers, get that taken care of, and I don't know. I just thought it was a cool guitar. I wanted to share its story a little bit with you guys from the era where everyone's just like, man, Fender, the 70s Strats are terrible, they're bomb, Fender messed up, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, this one seems like a good one. It's heavy, it's ash and maple, and the pickups sound pretty good to me, and stays in tune really, really well. The neck does not move at all in the neck pocket, so maybe I got super lucky and there's some really bad ones out there. But yo, I don't know. I'm gonna bounce out of here. I'm gonna keep playing my Strat, and then I'll see you all in a couple days with another video. Bye, homies. I appreciate all of you. Bye, guys.